Hello. Okay, this video is going to be regarding your case study, Choose Your Own Adventure, which I'm really excited about. Let me share my screen. Oh, let me see that. Henry's here. She says hi. Say hi. Yeah. Okay, so case studies. The idea behind this is that you will get to interact and sort of work with your peers researching, analyzing, and interpreting sort of data regarding a topic. And in this case, it's going to be of your choice. The next case study is going to be something a little bit different, which I'm also really excited about, but this one is choose your own adventure. So did I say this? So let's look at this, and I'll show you what I want you to do in regards to this case study. So you are going to find a recent news article regarding an environmental science issue. I don't care what it is. And in fact, that's the whole part of this case study is I'm always really intrigued to see what you guys come up with, what you guys find, what you're passionate about. But it does have to pertain to environmental science. And I know that this is sort of at the beginning of the term before we've gone through all the modules. So I have kind of listed the modules here in terms of topics that you can consider. And the other constraint is that you have to find a news article and a scientific article to go with that. Oh my gosh, she's so dramatic. To go with that news article. So super local topics might be really tricky in terms of Skagit. And I do have a couple assignments throughout this term that pertain to Skagit topics, so don't stress. We'll still cover some of that. But if you find one, there's probably some scientific articles regarding some of the oil refineries in Anacortes. If you're really passionate about the oil refineries in the area, I say that just because that's been a popular topic in the past. But I have given you a few places to start. So both of these links, the environmental science news site, I really like this site. It's an recent overview so you can see today's the 21st of some of the most recent articles that have come out. And most of these I would be okay with. Breakthrough method could dramatically cut prescription drug prices. We do have an environmental hazard and human health module. That would be a great thing to have happen. I prefer something that's actively happening right now. So why Alaska's salmon streams are suddenly bleeding orange. So this is just a list of different news articles that are out right now. But what I like about them is most of these, if not all of these, have both the news article and so here's the news article of why are these salmon streams becoming orange? They're acidic, that's why. And that has to do with the bacteria as far as I know. Chemical chain reactions. So just a fun anecdote. The Yellowstone pools, the acid pools are also orange. I don't know if it's related or not. But they're both acidic. So this is the news article that I would like you to find and link. And then at the bottom it says journal reference. So this is the scientific article that this news article is based off of. And you can click this and it should pop up with a free PDF version of the scientific article. So you're going to read this, you're going to read the news article. And the reason I have you do both is because the news article is obviously a lot easier to digest information-wise. But I want to see that you've read this scientific article as well. So this is just one example. If you're really into salmon streams, you can do this one. I don't care. So you're gonna, and this other link is just like, what are some other great sources for climate change news? If you're like, I don't like any of these headlines that I'm looking through here. And by recent, I mean like in the last few years. I don't want you to find an article from like 2020, but if you find one from 2024, even 2023, I'm amenable to that. Oh, sorry. But if you're really like, I don't like any of those, there's some other really great institutions that you can look at through the second link that I don't hate. Try to avoid news outlets that tend to run bias, even sometimes CNN, Fox, they both can have bias in their news, so please just be wary. If you are unsure, if you found an article and you're like, gosh, I really don't know if this is appropriate or not, email it to me and email me the link to the article that you found, and I'm happy to look at it, glance through it, and say, yeah, this is totally appropriate. Or in the past, I've gotten students to do this, and I have said, okay, this isn't great, but here's a different option in the same realm. Clearly, you're interested in this topic, but here's a better resource for you to look for that. Okay, totally happy to do that. And then there are 3 parts to this discussion board, to this case study. And each part is due a different week. So the first one is going to be due Friday, October 10th. The second one is October 17th. And the third is October 24th. So you'll have a week between each post. Obviously, I have them already here. And yes, I would like it if you read the instructions. But just for clarity, I'm happy to describe. You're going to post this information. So you're going to write a little snippet. It's nothing crazy. You don't have to write an essay. I mean, it is, I guess, kind of an essay, but you're not writing like 17 paragraphs of this essay. You're going to write, I mean, obviously 3 paragraphs total. You're going to write an introductory paragraph, a background paragraph, and an interpretation paragraph. And the most important part of this is please link your news article and your scientific paper. You have to link them for points. If you do not post a link, I will make a comment about that and you will lose points on that because it's super important, because the next part of the case study is you're going to ask 3 different peers 3 different questions about their paper and their topic. And so you have to be able to read their information, their papers, and mostly their newspapers. You're not going to read their the scientific papers if you don't want. I figure that will save some time. Hi. But you have to read 3 news articles from peers that you like. So make sure you're posting yours. Make sure that you are posting on a peer that doesn't have 3 posts already, because I would like all of you to have 3 posts in total to respond to, which is your 3rd post. So you're going to respond to a peer by asking them a question, making a statement, essentially providing them with information for them to further research that topic. Okay? It is meant to question that topic so that you have to go back and research for your 3rd post. And your 3rd post is essentially just answering your peers' questions, and doing that research to then provide your peer with appropriate and accurate information. That being said, this topic, environmental science as a whole, can be bipartisan. It has been getting more and more bipartisan over the years and very political. And what I have tried very hard to sustain is appropriate and respectful conversation in these case studies. These case studies have actually been probably the most popular part of these classes because my students really enjoy engaging with their peers, and that is true with you as well. It's a really fun opportunity for you to study something that you're really passionate about, and to engage with your peers. But if you are not being respectful in the comments or the questions, I will shut you down and I will ensure that you get 0 on this assignment. It's so important to be able to discuss differing opinions with respect, and kindness, right? We might not all have the same views on a topic, and that's okay. But you have to be respectful when you discuss it. That's so important. And it's a really important skill to have. And right now, in our current political climate, there's a lot of very angry discourse around a lot of very particular topics. And so I think it's a really important skill right now to be able to respectfully discuss your opinion on a topic, but also be able to back up that opinion with facts, data, and substantiate it with accurate information. So that being said, I hope this is a really fun topic for you, or a really fun case study. If you have any questions, please, of course, shoot me an email. That's all.